Happy day, students. This is San Academy Group of Schools, Palikarnai branch, grade 7, Science, chapter 2, Nutrition in Plants. This is part 1 video. So in this video, we are going to see the human digestive system. Let's move on to the topic, children. So we all know that this carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals and vitamins are some of the essential components which is present in our food. So this we call it as complex substances of food. So this complex substances we cannot be utilized by body. So what happens? They have to be broken down into simpler components. So how we can able to broken down? By the process of digestion. So that only we are going to see. Why the organisms need food? For obtain energy, for day-to-day activities, to give strength and stamina, materials for growth, materials for repair of the damaged body parts, and carry out the life process. So in chapter 1 we studied about the nutrition in plants. By plants, green plants will undergo photosynthesis, that we call it as autotrophic mode, and other modes like parasitic plants, saprotrophs, symbiotic relationship, that are all we have studied. So in nutrition and animals chapter, we are going to study about the digestion happens in humans and grass eating animals like ruminants, cow, goat, sheep, etc., and how it happens in unicellular organism like amoeba we are going to study. So next we will see the how different animals will take food in different ways. For example, this hummingbird will actually suck the nectar from the flower. How we will eat? We will just chew the food and eat. The frog will stick a tongue, it will catch its prey, and the snake will swallow its prey. And how the starfish will get, this is an amazing fact about the starfish. The digestive system, if you see, it is very unique and it is very peculiar in nature with respect to starfish. The layer, it's made up of a very hard shell. Once opening the hard shell, the prey, that is the food, the starfish actually it pops its stomach from the mouth region and it thrushes, that is take away the food inside the shell. So once the prey is eaten, the stomach of the starfish actually it goes back inside and then the digestion takes place. This is one of the amazing fact how the digestion takes place in starfish. So next we are moving to see the animal nutrition. So what is actually the animal nutrition? The process or by the way how the food is used in the body, that is the intake, consumption process, and the type of nutrients, that only we call it as nutrition. Animal nutrition means the nutrition's requirement, the mode of taking and its utilization for the body. So how it is takes place by the process of digestion. So complex food substances will be broken down into simpler substances. That way only we are going to detail study in this chapter. So there is a tabular column in the book how the different animals will take the kind of food and the mode of eating. For example, snail, kind of food it will take is grass, chewing, ant, insects, scrapping, eagle, flesh of prey, tearing and swallowing, hummingbird, the nectar from the flower, sucking, lice, blood from the skin of the scalp, sucking, mosquito, the blood from the animals, humans, sucking, butterfly, nectar from the flower, siphoning, housefly, filth and the refuses by sucking, and even snake animal has a hole like swallowing. So these are all the different ways of eating food. So next we will see how the digestion takes place in humans. So each part we call it as each compartment, and this compartment wholly we call it as alimentary canal or the tract, alimentary tract. So it consists of the mouth, esophagus, the stomach, small intestine, and the large intestine. And also we have digestive glands which secretes the digestive juice for the digestive process, that we call it as salivary gland, present in the mouth, liver, pancreas. So the process of taking the food into the body, we call it as digestion. So what happens when we eat the food? It entered through the mouth, we chew it. With the action of the salivary glands, it secretes saliva. It contains the enzymes, again breaking down into smaller particles. And then in the stomach also digestive juices will be present that will be digested and it will be absorbed in the small intestine. The absorbed nutrients will be transported to the other parts of the body, and large intestine egestion occurs, that is defecation, elimination of the waste product occurs. So this is the process of digestive system of human. So if you see, this is the human digestive system. First we will see the mouth and the buccal cavity. So the process of ingestion. Ingestion is nothing but taking the food occurs from the mouth to the buccal cavity. So as we ingest, what happens? The food that the salivary glands present in the mouth, it cut down the food into smaller pieces. So when we chew it and grind it, the salivary glands will secrete a watery liquid that we know saliva. This saliva, it contains digestive enzymes which help in the not the full but breaking down into small pieces. So the dung actually helps mixing the saliva with the food, and then the partially digested food, it's swallowed by the tongue and passes through the esophagus. That esophagus only we call it as food pipe. So teeth, now we are going to see the arrangement and the different types of teeth. Actually, how we are chewing the food? By the teeth present inside the mouth. So actually this teeth mechanically grind the food into very small chunks. So each tooth is rooted into a separate socket. That socket we call it as gums. Okay, so you can see that they are four types of teeth. Incisors is for cutting and biting teeth. So there are four, which shape we can say sizzle shape at center of the jaw for cutting and biting. And next is canine for piercing and shearing teeth. So two large pointed end like teeth behind the incisors in each jaw. For what? Function is piercing and tearing the food. And then premolars, it's for grinding and chewing the teeth. Two on each side, and it is behind the canines. Next is molars. In adult only we can able to see this molars. There are six, three on each side. That is, this teeth will have the very flat surface and it is helpful for grinding the food. So this is the arrangement and the different types of teeth. So if based on this arrangement we can see, we can count cutting and biting teeth, lower jaw 4, upper jaw 4, total 8. Piercing and tearing teeth, lower jaw 2, upper jaw 2. and total is 4. Chewing and grinding teeth, 10 plus 10, 20. So overall in an adult, 32 is present. Have you heard about this milk teeth and permanent teeth? What about this milk teeth and permanent teeth? So in human beings, teeth grow twice. So when we eat candies, our elders, our parents will say, don't eat too much candies or sugar items. What happens when we eat? We all know that the teeth is covered with outer covering. That we call it as enamel. So the enamel of the teeth will get affected when you eat sugar or candy items. After eating, we usually goggle our mouth. Why? Any bits, food pieces, it will come out. So when we keep on eating sugary or candy items, what happens? Not goggle, not teeth, brushing our teeth properly. So what happens? The bacteria will start eating what the food which is remain, and it will grow on it. So the bacteria will break down the sugars and leftover food, and it will release acids, and these acids will damage your teeth enamel, and this only we call it as tooth decay. So it's actually the we have to, that's why we have to twice, morning and evening, we have to thoroughly brush our teeth, and flossing, gargling with salt water helps to maintain our teeth properly. So that holes also you can able to see tooth decay. So when the holes or the cavity reaches the pulp cavity, that is inside, when it is connected with the blood vessels, it causes the severe tooth decay and results in tooth loss. How we can able to prevent this tooth decay? We have to properly rinse our mouth after every meal. That is a very, how we wash our hands before and after. Likewise, we need to rinse our mouth. Clean our teeth with brush or flossing twines, that we can use it. Dental floss, that also we can use it. And you should not keep the dirty fingers on your mouth. So we can't able to avoid completely avoid sweets or chocolates, but we can minimize, we can able to avoid ice creams, coffees, chocolates, candies. So we can able to do this preventive measure, so we can prevent this decay. When we talk about this milk and permanent teeth, so in human beings we all know the teeth grows twice. So that sets of teeth that grow during the child time, when you were a very small baby, that we call it as milk teeth. That is actually temporary teeth, correct? No, so when you come to second or third standard, the milk teeth will fall and you'll get a permanent teeth, correct? No, so it will fall around 6 to 9 years or sometimes 10 years. So when the milk teeth will fall, we will get a new set of teeth. But this teeth will not fall down, it remains till your attain old age, but it will fall only if you have a tooth decay or any accidents, only it will happen. Tongue also plays a major role in the chewing process of the food. So it is a muscular organ. Actually, tongue along with the teeth, mechanical action, we will chew the food with the saliva. So it will very helpful in swallowing the food. So likewise, taste buds also will be present. That only will give you the sense of taste, bitter, sour, salty, sweet, etc. Esophagus. Esophagus, like after when we swallow the food pipe which takes the chewed food into the stomach. That pathway, that food pipe, we also call it as esophagus. It is a tube-like structure which connects the mouth along your chest portion, neck, and the chest portion, and digested food from the mouth to the stomach. Actually, the food is pushed by the relaxation and the contraction of the muscles. And this movement of the muscles of contraction and relaxation, we call it as peristalsis or peristaltic movement. When we go for higher classes, we study in detail. So sometimes when we are not able to digest our food, when we are sick, we usually vomit. That also comes out from the stomach, and it will be very smelly also. Yes. And next, what we are going to see is the stomach. So actually, it is a shape. It's like a U. It's like a flattened U shape, widest part of the alimentary canal. So as we like that the semi-digested food will come into the stomach for further digestion takes place. So this inner lining of the stomach will secrete digestive juices, enzymes, and even hydrochloric acid. If you see the hydrochloric acid, it will be more acidic. So the function of this mucus actually protect the lining because of the from the action of the hydrochloric acid. Actually, why the hydrochloric acid is produced inside the stomach? To kill the harmful bacteria and helps in the digestion of complex proteins. Yes, so the digested food, semi-digested food, which is present inside the stomach, and it will transport to the small intestine. So the digested food which is present inside the stomach, we call it as chyme. So you can see inside that stomach, you can see that food is coming, and this is the digestive juices. It helps, and then the again it is partially break and it is taken to the small intestine. So small intestine. So small intestine is a highly coiled tube. It will be about 7.5 meters long. So it receives the digestive juices, secretions from the other digestive glands like liver and pancreas. Even the small intestine also secretes digestive juices. So here only the complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine, and the absorption of the food occurs here only. So we can say like the absorption is taking the nutrients and transporting to the other cells of the body. So this is the absorption. How the absorption takes place in the small intestine? Through the blood vessels. So the blood vessels in the walls of the intestine only it will absorb. How it will absorb? It will absorb by a small finger-like projections of cells that we call it as villi. So this villi help in increasing the surface area of the small intestine for the absorption of the absorption of the food. So that the blood vessels absorb the digestive food material, and it will be transported to the different organs of the body to provide energy and also to build the repaired body parts. So how we have already said the digestion takes place like breaking down of complex materials into simpler one. For example, glucose will be broken down into carbon dioxide and water. Fatty acids that is also will be broken down into amino acids, like that. So the villi mainly helps in the absorption of food. So fatty acids broken down into amino acids used in the growth and repair. So now the remaining is the undigested food which is not absorbed. It has to be sent to the large intestine, and that process defecation or digestion. Large intestine. So large intestine, you can see it is a 1.5-meter long tube, that is 1.5 meters in length. It is wider and shorter. So what happens? The undigested semi-solid food will be passed from the small intestine to this long tube called large intestine. So it has to be removed as a waste product. So that's why we call it as semi-solidification. So this process we call it as egestion, removing the fecal matter through anus from the body. Thank you, children.